Now, how much smoke are you supposed to have under the hood of one of these? That looks about right. We're back, and I've been neglecting my poor little H3 that has the unfortunate diagnosis of a bad transmission, plus some other things that were removed when they were gonna just part her out. They were just gonna destroy her. But not me. I'm gonna save her. Now, the other H3 that I have for parts, that one's getting destroyed. But this one, we're fixing up. And so, yeah, we're skipping ahead a little bit here. I'm over in the garage. The other parts of this series I have done in my driveway, and I'm sick of rolling around on the ground with jacks and everything. So I was like, to put this transmission back in, we are going to put her up on the lift. And if you look back here, we got the transmission out. Now, that was actually a project. Now that I've done it once, I think we'll be able to get this one out pretty quickly. But there is the old transmission. We have drained it to look at the fluid. We found almost no metal, clutch material, anything like that. So I think we're good. We are also swapping over the lower gear ratio transfer case. And you have to separate the transfer case from the transmission no matter what you do. You cannot get the transmission out without taking the transfer case off. So that makes it an easy decision there for sure. The other thing that we may switch, but I'm not going to do today, is the rear diff, and this one is not locking. The rear diff I have on the other parts H3 is a locking rear diff, and that one I think we can use if we just run an external, an aftermarket switch to it. So it's not going to look quite factory. You're just going to have a switch inside, and then you're going to have to be really careful to remember to turn it off, unless I can figure out a way to use a factory switch, but this one does not have the switch in there. So we'll have to see what wiring's there. If I can use the factory switch, that would be so sick. Otherwise, we're just going to pop this guy up on the lift and get started, I guess. Where do we start? Seems like I'm going to have to get greasy. I think we'll start pulling drive shafts. All right, we're in it. This is sort of the part that I didn't show in my other video. So, transfer case removal, what we're going to do is you have to pull the motor off. We'll pull the drive shaft off, and then probably this support is going to have to come out too. I don't think you can get it out without it, which means that the engine or the transmission will basically just be hanging off the back of the engine on the weight of it on the bolts, the bell housing bolts up front. But that's actually okay because it tilts everything backwards, and then that allows you to get some of the bolts up top, on top of the transmission. Those bell housing bolts are real tough to get if you try to go. You can't do it hardly under the hood, and they're way up there, obviously. So I think that's kind of our game plan here. Transfer case first, and then we'll go from there. Already took 3 of these bolts out from the motor. They're all 10 millimeters. You can see the 3 go around it there, and then this one to the bracket. Now she should be free. Yeah, almost smashed the phone right there. Knew there was some danger on that one, but so your arm there? Okay. Transfer case that we need is out. We did have a little bit of an oil spill situation, but that was actually from the Corvette. We're going to crawl under here, show you the game plan. One, I think we're going to try to get these torque converter bolts out. Those kind of seem like they might be a son of a gun. It doesn't really give you a straight shot. I don't know if I can show it. Let's see there. I'm falling over. but they are up inside there. So those are not great. The bolts on the back, though, were good. All the bell housing bolts, those ones, we can reach with no issues at all. So just got to pull these lines off right here. The electrical connection and those training lines right there should be good to go. Breaker loose. Just slide her back. A little bit more. Okay. I should do it. There we go. All right, we are clear, clear, clear. So,
will it balance on there at all?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Okay.
As long as these training lines over here don't catch too hard on it, which they kind of want to, but I can.
You want to go just a little more? I think you're fairly safe.
I mean, so too. Yeah,
you got the whole vehicle, you know, wheel system.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Yeah. Keep going. There we go. All right. I will get out now because we are
completely free.
We're completely free. We can go the whole way. I'd probably hold her there. Yeah, and you got to be pretty close to your...
yeah, max.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that with myself. All right, we're going to push this guy, get ready to go back in. What I did get, oh, this is going everywhere. Oh, hose got caught. We got a new filter and gasket here, transfer case gasket right there, because we do everything professionally. I do see some things that I want to address at some point, and the big one is the fuel lines in here. Get down under here, get this guy lined up anyways. Fuel lines are looking real rough. Training lines, I can't see. The other H3, they were really rough up in there. Let's see here. Yeah, they're a little crusty too. Not as bad as the fuel lines. So that's something on the list. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Hold her about there. All right, y'all are going to like this. All the bell housing bolts are in. They're somewhat tight. We're kind of good to go. Not done the torque converter bolts yet. Those are going to be sort of a son of a gun, as they usually are. And I still got to connect. Let's see here. Where's our wire? It's like this wire runs to this side. This guy runs over top here. Comes in, plugs in on that side. Now I'm running through the good old mental checklist to figure out all the things that I forgot. I did put the cross member in. I didn't do that when you guys were just looking. Exhaust will still have to go on at some point. Drive shafts are in. The electrical stuff is hooked up to the transfer case, to the transmission. Tranny lines are hooked up. Shift linkage is in, although I did lose a little U-clip. I got to find that. It's probably just somewhere on the floor here. But what I think I'm going to do next is, we don't know if this is a good transmission, and we are desperately crossing our fingers here that it is. So I think I'm going to dump some tranny fluid in and then start it up, see if it moves at all. I'm not going to drive it right now because I don't want it to get hot with the no exhaust manifold on it. So just see if it moves, and then we'll go from there. She moved. So where we're at right now is tranny is filled, cat is on. We don't have the muffler or the tailpipe going back through, and I got a barb fitting and connected those heater core lines. Now what some idiot did is, because the dipstick was in there loose, pulled it out after the tranny was filled, and as you can see, we did an involuntary flush of the tranny down on the ground there. But I'm going to top it back up and then put the airbox in, see if we can take her for the first drive. Here we go, out on our first adventure. Let's see if she shifts. Now, it does not want to run real good, but I think that's because all the O2 sensors are unplugged. All right, that's a gear. That's another one. All right. Brakes are warped, I can tell you that. Try not to pull out in front of anybody here. Okay. Definitely need that muffler. Alright, I think we went through all the gears there, I believe. It all shifted and felt good, so I'm happy with that. Steering, definitely, I don't know if we need tie rods or what, but it's got a very loose spot in the center that kind of catches in a weird way. Tell you what, doesn't seem bad. I think we're close enough now to at least we can start fixing some of the other stuff on it. Transmission seems fine. I'm not worried about that now. Thank goodness. We crossed our fingers. It all worked out. So she drove pretty good. Definitely underpowered because that's just the 3.5 life on these, unfortunately. But it seemed to run all right. So I think I'm going to end it here. We are going to do more maintenance, more upgrades, all the fun stuff coming up. Thanks for watching, guys.